Some people don't run away from love. They run away when it starts to feel real. They'll laugh with you, talk for hours, even care deeply. But the moment things start getting closer, they pull back, go quiet, or disappear just enough to feel safe again. It feels confusing, almost like they're sending mixed signals. But here's the truth most people get wrong. They're not avoiding you. They're avoiding what closeness does to them. And that's why they pull away when things start to feel real. At first, everything feels normal. They're present, they open up a little, they seem warm, even interested. But then something shifts. You try to get closer, they suddenly get busy. You express feelings, they change the subject. You lean in, they step back. And the closer you try to get, the more distance they create. It can feel like rejection, like you did something wrong. But this pattern isn't random, it's psychological. Because for them, closeness doesn't feel safe. It feels like pressure. From a psychological perspective, this often connects to avoidant attachment. These individuals didn't learn that closeness equals safety. They learned something else. That needing people leads to disappointment. That being vulnerable leads to pain. That depending on others means losing control. So their mind adapts. Instead of saying, "I'm afraid of getting hurt," it says, "I don't need anyone." But that's not the full truth. Because deep down, they still want connection. They just don't trust it. Closeness activates something in them. Not comfort, but tension. Not warmth, but vulnerability they don't know how to hold. So when things get too real, their system does what it was trained to do. Pull back, create space, regain control. Not because they don't care, but because caring feels dangerous. Here's where most relationships break down. One person moves closer, seeking connection. The other moves away, seeking safety. And both feel hurt. You think, they don't care about me. They feel, I'm losing myself. So you try harder and they withdraw further. This creates a silent cycle. The more you chase, the more they escape. Until eventually, the distance becomes permanent. If you're dealing with someone like this, forcing closeness will not work. In fact, it will do the opposite. Because pressure feels dangerous to them. Instead, what actually helps is something counterintuitive. First, slow down the pace. Closeness needs to feel gradual, not overwhelming. Let the connection build without urgency. Second, don't take distance personally. Their withdrawal is not always about you. It's often about what they're feeling internally. Third, create emotional safety, not pressure. Avoid ultimatums like, "Why won't you open up?" Instead, show consistency, calmness, stability, because safety is what they're missing, not logic. Fourth, respect their space, but don't disappear yourself. There's a difference between giving space and abandoning your own needs. Healthy connection requires both people to exist, not one constantly shrinking. Ending. People who avoid closeness aren't cold, they're careful. They've learned somewhere in their life that closeness can hurt more than distance, so they build space, not because they don't feel, but because they feel too much without knowing how to stay safe inside it. And maybe the real question isn't, why won't they come closer, but rather, do they feel safe enough to? Because for some people, closeness isn't just connection, it's risk.